In Katha, it's not just taking a story into the classroom. That's where we start. We start with taking a story into the classroom. And the child gets excited about the story. And before we even open the book, we are saying, what is the story of the child?
When you put the self at the center of storytelling, and then again, we don't say, well, it's the physics teacher who has to teach me about electricity and circuits, and I can't do that with handwork and art and embroidery. And then storytelling is something that either I do in my drama class, or maybe I do something about a story in my literature class. And a story is only something that you have to read. It's not something that actually has any relevance to me.
Stories are somewhere a bridge between the fantastical, the imaginary and reality. And then went on to the idea or questioning about what is that about the story that's giving us the ability to enter and experience something that's linking these two worlds.
Also using stories to contextualize otherwise difficult to recall or understand facts in curriculum.
And I'm just going to say the connection here with Katha, right? And with multilingualism and with plurality.
Who's the Madonna in the backyard?
Using stories, I think we can connect cultures, one culture to the other culture.
Sharing stories helps us move from a mass culture to a critical culture where you give space for inquiry and questions.
Is the story disappearing from our midst? You know? Because what she said, I found it very fascinating.
If we can aspire as teachers, as educators, as artists for an altered state of being, then that's all we need to be able to do.
Is there a possibility for us to move beyond the me and the my into a we culture?
The overpowering influence of the mass media on this faculty that we have on the possibilities of stories as potential for questioning and being a critical culture.
This whole thing of tolerance, this thing of saying that, we would like a country to preserve its plurality. We were wondering whether this could happen through story.
And when we get stories from students, from people in real life situations when we're going out to interview them, or when we get individual stories, that's when we maintain or kind of nurture the sense of plurality. But when curriculum or ideas or even language is a top-down kind of process, that's when we end up with a monoculture. We don't hear the voices of individuals and people who contribute.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಡ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ನಾನು ವಿಷಯ ಹೇಳೋದು.
What kind of opportunities do we frame in the classroom for teachers to actually allow students their own ways of telling a story?
More and more there is less of an opportunity for children to tell their own stories, and especially in mainstream schools where the child spends 8 hours or 9 hours of the day, there is very rarely an opportunity for children to tell stories. And what was striking was that your active learning went into activism. So is this at all possible in mainstream schools?
In my view, the wellness of the children of our country is at stake because they are being destroyed by schooling. We're removing from children the right to express themselves. We're reducing stories to something to be learnt by heart through question and answer.